She smiles for the cameras on a Tuesday. The flash goes off. The crowd screams. The dress is perfect. The makeup is flawless. Every detail has been curated, approved, and arranged to project exactly one thing: a woman in control of her life. She is 22 years old, and her immune system is quietly destroying her kidneys from the inside. Nobody in that crowd knows this. She barely knows what to do with it herself. She was born in Grand Prairie, Texas, a small city, a modest start. Her parents were teenagers when they had her. Her father was gone early. Her mother raised her alone, working multiple jobs, moving between apartments, doing the math every month on what they could afford. She watched her mother survive. She filed that away. At 7, she got a small role on a children's television show, Barney and Friends. 2 years of smiling at cameras and learning how to exist in front of an audience before she fully understood what an audience was. The performing was natural, the hunger was real. At 15, she walked into Disney and never walked back out as the same person. Wizards of Waverly Place made her a star in 2007. Every girl her age knew her face. Every magazine wanted her on its cover. Every brand wanted her name attached to its product. She was the girl who had it all before she was old enough to vote. She also had something nobody was reporting: a body beginning to turn against itself. In 2012, she was diagnosed with lupus, an autoimmune disease in which the immune system becomes overactive and attacks the body's own organs. In her case, it was attacking her kidneys. Specifically, methodically, without mercy. She told almost no one. She kept touring. She kept recording. She kept smiling at the cameras on Tuesdays. I would get fevers, headaches, I would get fatigue, but I always just kept going, she later admitted. She ignored it. She pushed through it. She performed through fevers that should have put her in a hospital bed. This is what she had learned to do: survive by moving forward, never let them see what was happening underneath. 3 consecutive albums debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200. 15 consecutive top 40 entries on the Hot 100, the longest active run of any artist between 2011 and 2018. Her face was everywhere. Her music was inescapable, and she was exhausted in a way that fame could not explain and money could not fix. The illness moved through her life like a slow current. Invisible from the outside, relentless from within. In August 2016, she cancelled the remaining dates of her revival tour when complications from her lupus caused additional anxiety and depression. The official statement was careful and vague. The internet speculated, fans worried, critics analyzed. She was receiving chemotherapy. As time passed and she was laying low, rumors spread that she was in a drug rehabilitation facility. In reality, she was receiving chemotherapy treatments for her lupus nephritis. Nobody corrected the record immediately. There was a cost to correcting it. Admitting you are sick in an industry that feeds on weakness is its own kind of gamble. By 2017, her kidneys were done. I got to the point where it was really life or death, she said afterward. No performance in that sentence, no careful PR framing, just a fact delivered flat, the way people speak when they have run out of energy to make hard things sound softer. In September 2017, she shared that she had undergone a kidney transplant at just 24. Due to lupus-related organ damage. The kidney came from her friend Francia Raisa. She gave the ultimate gift and sacrifice. Selena called her blessed beyond words. The surgery was not clean. During the procedure, one of the arteries had flipped. What should have been a 2-hour operation became a 6-hour emergency. She woke up in pain, started to shake, and was sedated again before she could fully understand what was happening to her body. She was 25 years old and had already survived more than most people face in a lifetime. That was only the physical part. The mind was its own separate crisis. I've discovered that anxiety, panic attacks, and depression can be side effects of lupus, which can present their own challenges. She said this carefully, publicly, at a time when no celebrity was supposed to say things like this without a publicist reviewing every syllable. In 2018, she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I felt a huge weight lifted off me when I found out, she said. I could take a deep breath and go, okay, that explains so much. That sentence deserves a moment. Not devastation, not collapse, relief. The diagnosis gave the chaos a name. The name made it survivable. She checked into a psychiatric treatment facility. She did the work. She came out talking about it openly, at a time when openness like that still cost something. A year after the kidney transplant, she was hospitalized twice due to a dangerously low white blood cell count. She had a panic attack in the hospital. It became the tipping point. She sought additional treatment. She kept going. She always kept going. There was also a relationship that the world watched like a spectator sport. Years of on and off, headlines every time, public declarations followed by public silence. A cycle that played out across tabloids and Instagram comments and late-night talk show monologues. She was in love with someone who was also her wound. In 2019, she achieved her first #1 single on the Billboard Hot 100 with Lose You to Love Me, a deeply personal ballad about self-love and healing. She wrote the ending herself. She did not scream it. She did not perform it. She simply sang the truth of what had happened to her directly and without decoration, and the song went to #1. That is what clarity sounds like after years of chaos. In 2020, her lupus flared again. Now it just hurts in the morning. When I wake up, I immediately start crying because it hurts. Like everything, she said on camera in a documentary that showed all of it. No stylist, no filter, no careful distance, just the reality of living in a body that keeps fighting itself. That same year, she launched Rare Beauty. The timing is not a coincidence. It never is with people who have learned to build something real from the rubble of what nearly broke them. Rare Beauty was built on a specific emotional proposition, not just cosmetics, a commitment to authenticity, mental health, and the radical idea that beauty should not make you feel worse about yourself. The Rare Impact Fund, which receives 1% of all Rare Beauty sales, has raised over $16 million for youth mental health services across 26 organizations on 5 continents. She did not separate the business from the mission. They are the same thing. By September 2024, Bloomberg reported that she had become a billionaire, with an estimated net worth of $1.3 billion, roughly 81% of which comes from Rare Beauty. At 32, she was described as one of the country's youngest female self-made billionaires. She went from a girl in Grand Prairie doing the math on rent with her mother to one of the wealthiest self-made women in America. The math now looks very different. The achievements stack up like a list someone invented. 16. Guinness World Records, 3 Billboard 200 #1 albums, a Cannes Film Festival Award, 2 MTV Video Music Awards. Named to Time's 100 Most Influential People in 2020. Billboard's Woman of the Year in 2017. The first woman on Instagram to surpass 400 million followers. An Emmy nomination for Only Murders in the Building. A Golden Globe nomination for Emilia Perez in 2025. A UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. A mental health advocate. The founder of the Rare Impact Fund. She built all of this while managing a chronic autoimmune disease, a mental health diagnosis, a kidney transplant, and the specific kind of psychological damage that comes from growing up in public. Never allowed to be ordinary, never permitted to fall apart where anyone could see. Here is what the psychology actually looks like. Not inspiration. Not a comeback story packaged for a documentary. A person who spent years learning to stop performing resilience and start practicing it. There is a difference. Performing resilience is smiling through the fever at 22 and telling no one. Practicing resilience is checking into treatment at 26 and talking about it publicly when you come out. I will always be working on my mental health, and I will always evolve. I'm not better or worse than anyone. I'm simply just a person living and surviving every day, she said in 2024. No heroism in that sentence, no manufactured triumph, just the honest arithmetic of someone who has decided to keep showing up. That decision, repeated every morning, is the thing the awards don't capture. The lupus is still there. The bipolar disorder doesn't disappear. She has acknowledged that because of her medical conditions, she cannot carry her own children, something she described as a grief she had to sit with and slowly process. She carries all of it. Openly. Without pretending it is fine, and she builds anyway. That is not a personality trait. That is a choice made daily, under conditions that most people have never been asked to face. She did not become strong despite the pain. She became who she is because of what she decided to do with it. The diagnosis did not destroy her career. It redirected it towards something more honest. The heartbreak did not silence her. It produced her most personal, most heard song. The kidney transplant did not end her story. It forced her to slow down long enough to figure out what she actually wanted to build. Every rupture became a doorway. She walked through every single one. If you found value in this video, go ahead and hit the like button. It genuinely helps more people find this content. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this because there is a lot more coming. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read every one, and we want to know what this video made you think about. And tell us, which person, which story, which psychology would you like us to explore next? Your suggestions shape what we make. We will see you in the next one.